Sunday Night Football continues. The Eagles take on the Panthers. Catch it at 8:15 Eastern, 5:15 Pacific across the TSN network. Almost Halloween. Procedure call against the Lions. They have to re-kick here. So Brandon Banks gets ready. Ticats rush, but Leone gets away a beauty. Banks back at the 36. That's a 54-yard punt, but Banks gets one block and a crease, and flags are flying. There's a couple on the field as Banks is brought down at the 32-yard line. 42-yard return, but like the Shaq Murray-Lawrence return earlier on a kickoff, this one likely negated by more than one flag. Richie Leone shaken up on the play.
It almost looked like Brandon Banks saw the flag on the field and started to gear it down and say, okay, well.
During the return, holding Hamilton, number 20. 10-yard penalty, first down.
So both flags for the same infraction. And the call against Emmanuel Davis will send the Ticats all the way back to their 30. So what a 50-yard difference in field position.
With the returners that we have in the game in the Canadian Football League, I've heard coaches say it's better. It's almost better to just take your blockers right off the field. If you're going to do that, you might as well take them right off and let the returner go 1 on 12. Because it not only takes the return off, the return yardage off, it just pushes you back, takes all momentum away, and uses up some clock as well.
Got a timeout Hamilton here. So Ken Austin uses a timeout. Davis on the sidelines shakes his head as that penalty takes the Banks return off the board. So now Hamilton ready to go. Still very much in this football game. Pressure on Matthews, ducks under, but not here. Adam Bighill gets home, and that's the 5th sack of the night for the BC Lions.
Show Hoffman-Ellis in there, and Mark Washington going back to switching things up. Hoffman-Ellis shows, but doesn't necessarily hit the gap, and Bighill does. They go together. It's Hoffman-Ellis on the outside, Adam Bighill on the inside, linebacker blitz, and that's a sack added to his 7 tackles on the night for number 44, who came in at 99 tackles. So he's over 100 for the 2nd time in his career. A couple years ago.
Matches the Lions high on the season with 5 sacks. Injured Ticat and Ryan Bauman being helped to the sidelines for the 2nd time, and this looks like a different issue for him as they hold up the left arm. So they'll have to readjust that offensive line again, and into the game comes Matthew Girard. Check that, Mike Girard, excuse me, Mike. Thrust into the fray. 2nd and long, and that's Junior Collins with a good gain out across the 35-yard line, but it's going to be 3rd down, and punt team will have to come on.
I'll show you the Ryan Bauman injury. He's working one-on-one on Kareem Smith off the edge here, but he's going to get hit from the backside. Looks like Jabbar Westerman possibly coming around the corner. Watch how he's working on Kareem Smith, and right there, his elbow gets hit by the helmet of Westerman from the other side of the field.
Medlock's boot. Sends Rainey back, a 50-yard kick. Rainey at his 25. Does some dancing, and again a flag as Rainey is hauled down at the 30-yard line. So just over 9 minutes to go. It remains a 14-point lead for Jonathan Jennings and the Lions. Terrific night for the BC Lions defense so far, and their leader Adam Bighill with more. Let's go back to the sidelines. Here's Dustin.
Yeah, it's been quite the season for Adam Bighill. The Lions linebacker has now recorded 100 tackles in a season twice in his career, which gives him bragging rights over teammate Solomon El-Mimian, who's only done it once in his career. Last time Bighill did it was 2012. He was an All-Star that season and was nominated for Defensive Player of the Year.
8th player in CFL history to have multi-100 tackle seasons. Here's a catch by Arsenault. He had to reach up to grab that and took a hit from Taylor Reed. A short gain for Arsenault on his 6th catch of the night.
Showed you the numbers for Arsenal since Jonathan Jennings has been the starter, and don't be surprised at all in this next 8.5 minutes for Jennings to start to really lean on 84.
Get the feeling they're going conservative here.
Play not to lose.
2nd and 9. Ball downfield, nothing conservative about that. Hawkins with the bobble that made it interesting, but they are ruling a catch and a first down.
Brandon Stewart is talking to the officials that he was bobbling it when he went out of bounds. Let's take another look. Ball's put right where it has to be. I think just Hawkins took his eyes off it for a second. Does he get control and the foot?
Oh. Somewhat secured. Kent Austin down there to just wait to get a ruling from upstairs, and he's going to challenge that. That was still getting hot potatoed when he stepped out of bounds.
Hamilton's challenging the previous play of a completed pass. This will be reviewed.
And there's a catch that a team comfortable in the 4th quarter probably makes 99 times out of 100.
You're right. I mean,
or 100 times out of 100.
It's that.
Is that secured?
Is that going to be considered control of the ball? Ruled a catch on the field. It's not that there's not evidence. The evidence is there. It's whether or not they rule that he has control.
That last look of him stepping out on first glance makes it look like he's bobbling it, but really he just seemed comfortable that he finally brought it in and almost was just tucking it into one hand. So.
Exactly. It looked like he bobbled it initially, had that right foot on in bounds, and then was kind of transferring it to his right hand as he was going out. But it is close,
which opens it up for review.
And on a 2nd down throw, one that Kent Austin definitely needs to challenge. I mean, take another look at it. His defense is off the field if he wins this one.
And ruling on the field was a catch. Let's take another look. This is one that isn't necessarily an easy call.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Completed pass, first down.
You don't have to have the football against your body to have control of it. You can have it in one hand, you can have it in both hands, out away from your body, and they ruled that was the case, that he did gain control with that right hand.
14-yard gain stands and a first down, and a direct snap for Harris. And Harris follows the blocking, got something, and lunging ahead for another BC first down. An 11-yard run for Andrew Harris, up to 48 on the night.
Direct snap right to Andrew Harris. Jonathan Jennings sells it, and then Harris has got an escort out front.
And a 42-yard lead in the rushing derby over Jerome Messam coming into the week. Jennings throws for grab, but nowhere near either Brian Burnham or Sean Gore, and a late flag comes down. And they're going to call interference against the Ticats.
Interference, or is it illegal contact on one of the other receivers?
Holding, BC, number 62. Forward pass interference, Hamilton, number 20. Penalties will offset, but we played it down. Remains first down.
It was on Davis, Emmanuel Davis, who was in coverage on the intended target.
Goes first and 10, up at the 44. Double tight end for the Lions. Cam Thorne back into the game. And Ticats showing blitz. They jump. Flags flying. Was there movement on that Lion offensive line?
Offside, Hamilton, number 6. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Brian Hall.
That snap cadence call from Jonathan Jennings was designed for that purpose, to draw the defensive line offside.
First and 5, that's Burnham in motion. And off again off the left side, and another first down run for Harris. Running yards second half have been much better for number 33.
Well, the difference being that it was around the second quarter that they found the edge. They found the corners for Andrew Harris. Harris' success in this game running the ball has been outside in those C gaps. You get outside and you get good blocking up front there from Tommy Draham and Kirby Fabian. They got the angle on their man and got the corner for Harris.
Third 10-yard carry or more in the game for Harris. So they'll feed him the football again. Draheim leads the blocks again. And Harris falls forward for 8 or 9 more.
Yeah, Draheim had one, and watch the pull from Foster, the center, coming out and around to lead this run again on the outside to Andrew Harris. Big 66 comes out and around the edge, and he gets right up on Rico Murray.
And Jason Foster leads the way, and up to date, Andrew Harris. Nothing like running yards in the fourth quarter when you've got the lead. Back in his hands, and there's a first down run for Harris.
Well, it does three things. First of all, you're moving the football. You're moving the chains. You're working the clock. This goes back to when football began. Second of all, it's demoralizing for the defense when you can't stop the run in the fourth quarter and get off the field.
Are you saying Mike Pringle demoralized you?
More than once. More than once.
12th carry of the game for Harris. Little room there as he cut back and drives it down to the 33. So they marked that as a gain of 6. He's at 76 yards when it seemed like there was really nothing going on the ground in the first half.
Remember the last time these two teams played, it wasn't Andrew Harris's best game. Fumbled it a couple of times and was injured in that game.
Second and 4. Jennings to throw, a little fade, and there'll be a screening call on a guy that doesn't usually cover. Justin Hickman followed Andrew Harris out of the backfield and did everything right except screen at the end.
Yeah, he was waving his hands in the face of Andrew Harris and was not an attempt to play the football.
Defensive pass interference screening, Hamilton, number 5. Point of foul, automatic, first down.
It's time to get Harris out of the backfield to run that wheel route and then down the sideline. And you're right. You know what? You're not very often asking your defensive end to cover a back out of the backfield, but Alonzo Steinhauer does this. You could see the screening in the hands in the face of Harris without an attempt to play the football. That's the textbook definition of screening.
Third trip to the end zone, or the red zone, trying to get to the end zone, and Andrew Harris will. Touchdown! Might be the most important drive of the season for the BC Lions, and it's capped with a 15-yard touchdown run by the rushing leader.
Agreed, Chris, that this is a big one for BC. In that fight for the last playoff spot, Montreal won before this game, and this drive in the fourth quarter to get rid of those games over the last 3 weeks that they haven't been able to finish. That's a big one, and it was the Andrew Harris drive.
The extra point. Another miss for Leone. Let's see what Brandon Banks does with this. He'll just take the knee, and so 9th missed convert for Leone. And a flag
Holding
down.
BC number 46. That penalty's declined. Convert's over. We'll kick off.
So a 20-point lead.
I'm going to call this the Andrew Harris and Tommy Draham drive. He gets another block here. This is going to be on Brian Hall. Remember early in the game, in the first quarter, I was saying if you want to run the ball on Hamilton defensively, you've got to move those two defensive tackles. And Draham just takes Brian Hall and seals him off on the inside and let Andrew Harris do his thing in the open field. If you can get those tackles and you can move them out of there, you can run the ball on the Hamilton defense. That hasn't been easy all year long, but that was a great block by Draham.
10 plays, 92 yards, and Harris with six runs for 54. So more on that drive than the rest of the game.
And look at the time remaining. That took a ton of time off the clock as they pounded it along the ground. Again, success outside first has been the difference to get Andrew Harris going.
Lions trying to even their home record at 4-4 and end a 4-game road winning streak of the Ticats. Brandon Banks trying to pick up the blocking. Alex Bazzi in pursuit, and he caught him from behind. Boy, that's terrific work by 53, Alex Bazzi.
So let me get this straight. Justin Hickman, I should say, covers a back out of the backfield on defense, and Alex Bazzi, another defensive end, covers a kick and makes a tackle on Brandon Banks. Now the clock is the enemy for Jeff Matthews.
Again, Ottawa plays Winnipeg tomorrow. The Bombers, if the score stands, will need a win to keep pace here with Montreal and BC. And Ottawa with a win could move into a tie with the Ticats with those back-to-back games to finish the year.
Yeah.
Little tip of the cap to the schedule maker. That's intercepted. And Ryan Phillips has his second of the game. He's up to number 45 in his career. And that should just about do it.
Boy, this is the second time that the veteran has, through film study, through experience, whatever it may be, just knowing the game, understanding the route concepts. He sees his man, Terrell Sinkfield, run that little curl in. He knows the outside's curling as well in Underwood, and he just jumps it. He's run the route twice now with 2 interceptions tonight.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. Hey, dealer, I told you what it is. Holla at your boy. Love you, baby.
5 on the year for Ryan Phillips, who said the growing pains have to end. More work for Andrew Harris.
45 career picks, too.
Hey, the thing about it, the way I stole it, though.
We've hit the 3-minute warning. BC in charge by 20.
A well-put-together man is said to be sharp. At GMC, we get why people appreciate that kind of precision. After all, precision is the kind of sharp that slices through a crowd. This is precision. This is Denali from GMC.
What's our Aeroplan? To watch her make friends wherever we go.
Mine is to stay close, even if we live far.
Our Aeroplan is to go back to where it all started.
Wendy's Friday Night Football is brought to you by Wendy's Bacon Portobello Mushroom Melt. It's back, only at Wendy's. Now that's better. Well, the message was being able to close out these games. We've mentioned the record, 3-6 with leads after 3 quarters. 10th third quarter lead tonight, and the Lions looks like they're going to close it out. Jennings with a fake on the fly sweep and takes a hit. And it's going to be 3rd down. Do you send Leone out, or do you go for it on 3rd down with a 20-point lead? Looks like they're going to stay on the field here. Well,
trying to run down the clock rather than try and go up by 23 here.
Well, the only issue would be a block. So we'll see what they do on 3rd and 5. They give it to Harris, trying to get outside.